There has been untold confusion about WWE 2K games, and every year it seems the same, where people are asking constantly, what version should I get? And especially when it comes to the game I'm playing right now, WWE SuperCard, which version should I get to get the best benefits for me? Believe it or not, there are people out there who are buying WWE 2K20, as I've seen in my comment section. You guys might be the people who I'm talking about right now, who are buying the game purely for the SuperCard content. But let's just say you are a 2K games mainstay player of the series, and you just want to know which version you should be picking up, and maybe you want an opinion that looks at both sides of the coins, the plus and the negatives. And maybe, just maybe, you may walk away from this video knowing exactly what version of WWE 2K20 you are going to be getting. Let's start off and say, hey, if you breathe oxygen, which we all do, smack the like button as hard as you possibly can. And trust me, you do want to be doing that, because if you breathe anything else, you might die. I mean, I'm not saying you're going to die if you don't, but you know what I mean. Subscribe to the channel whilst you're there by hitting that big red button and turn your notifications on so you don't miss a single second of SuperCard and 2K20 content, because it is about to get real. We are getting closer and closer. In fact, we are less than 2 months away from release. So now seems like the best time to do this video. I'd like to think this is a version where you can make an informed decision based on what my thoughts are on the games and the history, without necessarily giving you too much of an opinion, unless your opinions are suited to mine. I mean, if you think the same way I do, of course, you're probably going to think, well, this guy knows what he's talking about. I'm going to go order this version of the game. And, you know, my intentions are not to tell you which one to go buy. It's more to give you an idea so you can go to Game, or you can go to GameStop, or you can go online to Amazon, or your local supermarket, or your local store, and just buy whatever one you want. So I think personally we should go have a look at the specifics of what's in each version and get down to the nitty gritty about why you should buy each one. Now I bet you can tell what the comment section topic for today is. Well, it's very simple. Which version of WWE 2K20 are you going to get? Are you going to go physical? Are you going to go digital? Are you going to go standard, deluxe, or collectors? Are you not buying it at all? Let us know in the comments and why. To give you that informed decision, I've produced this little guide, and I'm going to run through it individually, and I'll put a link to this in the comments and description below. All I ask is that you share back to the video so people can get a real-time understanding. Let's start off by talking about each of the versions. We've got the standard edition, which will be physical and digital, the deluxe edition, which will be physical and digital, and the collector's edition, which is physical only, meaning you will only be able to order this in a physical form. At the top, we've got the different types of content, whether physical or digital, that you'll be able to get, including the pre-order bonus, bonus content, collectibles, and the WWE SuperCard content included in each version. Let's start off with the pre-order bonus. Now, technically, this is only included in the standard edition, and you're thinking to yourself, but hang on, I've been told that it's in every edition. Well, actually, no. You haven't. Anyone who pre-orders the game, not any specific edition, will get their hands on a WWE 2K Originals DLC number 1, which is a bump in the night. If you want more information on this, it is included in the little eye at the top right hand side of the screen. This includes the Fiend Bray Wyatt, among many other things, and is included as a pre-order bonus for the standard edition. But for the purposes of making sure everyone is on board and not confused, I'm going to tick it on here, because I don't want to start any rumors that you don't get the bump in the night DLC for the deluxe and the collector's edition. The reason why they're not pre-order bonuses is because buying the WWE 2K20 deluxe and collector's edition gives you access to all 4 of the 2K Originals content, which includes DLC number 1, which is the pre-order content. So you will still get that regardless of whether you pre-order it or not. Other than that, no other digital or physical individual collectibles or bonus content will be included in the standard edition. There is one other thing that's included though. The bonus content, which is digital, will include the My Player Kickstart, the accelerator, the backstage pass, which would include all 2K Originals content. This includes, as mentioned, the #1 DLC Bump in the Night and The Fiend, and also includes 2K Originals #2, #3, and #4. Then you'll get the SmackDown 1000 DLC pack, which would include playable versions of Hulk Hogan, China, The Rock and Sock Mankind, and the $500 shirt, The Rock. This will come on day one with the deluxe edition and collector's editions of the game. Moving on to the physical items. Now these are things you only get by getting the collector's edition. These collectibles include a piece of the ring skirt from a SmackDown taping between a set time period and one of 3 different signed art plaques. Now these include Edge, Kurt Angle, and Rey Mysterio editions. Just to clarify, you do not get all 3 of these, the version is completely random, very much similar to last year's Ric Flair robe, which you could get one type or another, and it was randomized dependent on the box that you opened. So that's pretty simple. Here comes the difficult part. A lot of people struggle to understand, which is the WWE SuperCard limited edition cards. Now these are going to be included in every single version of WWE 2K20. It's what's included and what versions do you need to get access to these. To start off with, the codes included for this limited edition content will only be available in the physical versions of the standard and deluxe edition. Within the standard and the deluxe edition, you'll get your hands on a very, very awesome Roman Reigns and a very special Becky Lynch to commemorate them being on the front cover of this year's game. But to go one step further, if you want 3 brand new limited edition cards, you can opt for the collector's edition, which will give you access to a version of The Rock and Mankind similar to the SmackDown 1000 DLC. Also included in that is a Mr. Socko support card, which I'm sure will put smiles on many faces. Well, not all faces, because someone's got to deal with that being shoved down their throat. So just to make this clear, Becky and Roman come with all physical versions of the standard and deluxe editions of the game. The collector's edition also includes Roman and Becky, but on top of that will also receive The Rock, Mankind, and Mr. Socko. So if you are a die-hard SuperCard fan, like I am, you know you're going to want to get yourself the collector's edition to get yourself the best content possible. Not everyone is going to be a SuperCard fan, so let's run through each edition and talk about the pros and cons. If you're on a budget, then obviously I would stick to the standard and deluxe editions. We've spoken about the physical standard and deluxe editions already, but the collector's edition is something that's a little bit of a touchy subject. Compared to previous collector's editions, it's a little bit light on physical items in there. The thing that strikes me the most about it is that there is no toy Funko Pop included in this year's version, which would have been quite nice to see maybe an exclusive The Man or Roman Reigns, maybe a gold version of Roman Reigns or something. Whereas in 2K19, 2K18 and 2K17, there were multiple different items included on top of the exclusive SuperCard content and the ring skirt or signed plaques. I mean, look at last year's. We got ourselves a replica Hall of Fame ring, which was very, 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 very good quality. On top of that, a piece of Ric Flair's robe, the exclusive Funko Pop, and the additional very, very sought after SuperCard limited edition content. Now, from a personal perspective, if I was buying this without the SuperCard content, I would probably stick to the deluxe edition, because as much as I would love a piece of a ring skirt and I would love a signed picture in a plaque ready to go on the wall by Edge, Kurt Angle, or Rey Mysterio, my favorite wrestler might be Edge, and maybe I don't want Kurt Angle or Rey Mysterio. What would you do with that signed art plaque if your favorite wrestler is not included on there? I would probably say on 2K's part, they should focus next year's on including some maybe exclusive DLC, because right now anyone who's doing this purely for the collector's versions of the game to get those collectibles is going to feel a little bit shortchanged. Now, some people will get the collector's edition anyway, and this is where it comes into, and I'm not endorsing this, but people purchasing the versions of the game to basically trade or sell the items that are inside it. Now in 2K19, the Funko Pop, the Hall of Fame ring, and the SuperCard cards were all very popular items, with some going on eBay for anything up to $100 a piece, with the special SuperCards especially popular on the site. Now there is every possibility that the SuperCard content could change, not necessarily the cards, but for what version it is suitable for. But right now everything is being advertised for Season 5, so we would assume when the game launches that Season 5 will still be the active version of the game. So if you are looking at getting the Collector's Edition at launch, you do have a very small window if you want to maximize on the opportunity of selling these or trading these exclusive cards. Why is the SuperCard content so worthwhile? Well, if you do not play the game, as an example, if you purchase the Collector's Edition, you will end up with 3 male pros, which are the toughest cards in the game for the top tier, a female pro for the top tier, and a support card, which is probably going to be overpowered as well. All those 3 combined means that you will rise to the top tier of the game almost instantaneously. And that's not taking into account that you might get other codes from your friends who know you're a SuperCard fan or know you've started playing SuperCard and want to help out. Despite being very limited in benefits, is so highly sought after. Not only that, but these cards being limited edition means that these individual items will not be available to purchase in game. That's why they're limited edition, because you cannot physically get your hands on them after the Collector's Edition has sold out. And I have to say, I think the art plaque will sell very well, as will the piece of ring skirt, but to a WWE 2K fan, I don't know whether that's going to be enough. But those are definitely an option to potentially sell the items in there and recoup some of the cost in purchasing the Collector's Edition, but of course there is no guarantee of that. To sum this up, if you are a hardcore SuperCard player, you want to be getting yourself the Collector's Edition, simple as that. If you are a hardcore 2K20 player and you really are just looking for the best experience, you want to be going for the Deluxe Edition. If you are a memorabilia collector or someone who loves having these type of items up on the wall, or a fan of SmackDown, then if you got the spare money and it is expensive, get yourself the Collector's Edition. Honestly, I think anyone this year who gets themselves the Standard Edition is going to miss out big time and probably want to purchase the 2K Originals content individually, which will end up costing you more. Unlike last time where they were individual DLC packs, I think this year is the year, if you're going to get a Deluxe Edition, you want to get it. Not to mention, you get the ability to play as China and Hulk Hogan, which I know will be not the great for some parts of the community, but for others it will be something they've been waiting years for. If you're a newcomer to the series, honestly, skip the Standard Edition, get yourself a Deluxe Edition and enjoy the content, because this 2K Originals content, which is coming out over the lifespan of the game, could be absolutely game changing. But that's going to be it from me. Thank you all so much for taking the time to watch this. I hope this has been in some way helpful to you. I have been SuperZomGBBQ. Remember to let me know in the comments section below which version of WWE 2K20 you are going to get, or if you're not going to get it at all. If for any reason this video has changed your purchase decision, let us know in the comments section. Until next time though, make sure you're leaving a huge like if you breathe oxygen. I mean, if you don't, you're going to kind of die, so yeah, breathe oxygen, leave a like. Subscribe to the channel for more WWE 2K20 exclusive content and turn your notifications on whilst you are there. And I'll see you all in the next one.